led by their center, Remington Award watch list. So very talented. They work well together. That's a tremendous challenge when you get a chance to play against a powerful opponent at their home. We've got to stick to what we do and just trust the fundamentals and take it one play at a time.
What did Tommy show you in that first game with you guys?
Yeah, show some physicality, showed his ability to execute the calls, confidence, play with a lot of confidence for us, and really just like how he just showed up on the first game, was very productive, but also on the sideline, very attention to details, feedback in terms of what he was seeing on the field. So that was exciting to see as well.
What kind of growth have you seen from him in that regard, and doing the things the way you guys want to do them, given that he's bounced around some other places?
Yeah, for Tommy, just the opportunity to work with him first this spring and get to know him as a young man, and always been from what I've experienced as his coach, very, very powerful, dominant player in the trenches, and a guy that can rush the passer as well. But to be able to hone in that fundamental, hone in his ability and execute the calls, that's been important for him over this time, and I've seen tremendous growth to the point where we can trust him, and he's a dependable guy.
Coach Henry talked about on Monday that he feels like Tommy's finally found a home and some stability here. Can you speak to that a little bit? Yeah,
certainly glad to see that he's in a place that he loves the locker room, loves his teammates, and he's a guy that's a put the team first guy, and so love that he's in a position that he's in. I'm glad he's here at Illinois, and proud to be his coach, and we're glad to have, just like everybody, all of our new guys.
How important is that personal relationship building to being able to speak truth to him and get the most out of him?
Very important, especially when it's time to challenge our guys, and especially whether it's one-on-one, whether it's in a group. It's important to get to know a young man, meet his family, get to know what challenges him, what gets him going, and so that's important in building any relationship, is just the communication aspect of it. And so that's been good for us in that room, is just be able to talk and hear those guys out, myself as their coach, not just talk to them all the time, but also hear what they've got to say, feedback. That's the good thing about a guy like Tommy. He's been a lot of places, so he's had a lot of good coaches. And so he has a lot of information. And so it's good to see what he's seeing out there on the field and try to be the best coach for him.
What did you like about the rotation of guys up front and the opener? Just because we know it's going to be the intent is to play several, and what did you like about that group?
Yeah, and so, we were preparing for our first game, and that was our first time playing against a different opponent. We've been playing against each other all off season, in spring ball and fall camp. And so it was important for us to get guys out there and get some experience, and also guys that we trust, to get them a chance to go and compete and execute our defense. And so we're planning for improvement from game 1 to game 2. And so feeding off of that or coming off the heels of that game, we want to continue to build depth on our defense and our defensive line, and we're planning for a long season. So with that being said, we got to build some depth.
I don't know that Eli Conan was a guy we asked you a lot about in training camp. What do you see from him? And he's still kind of young in his development, but what's the potential for him?
Yeah, the potential for him is the sky's the limit. Potential is there for all of our guys. For anybody that steps foot in this opportunity, they got great potential. But for Eli, love what he brings to the table against the run and also pass rush, all down and distance. And so just trying to continue to expose him to what we do on defense, so he can continue to gain confidence. That's going to be important for Eli.
With all your transfers up front, what's the difference between maybe having film on them from their other places, seeing them in spring and camp, and then actually getting them on the field, live situation against somebody else in your system?
Yeah, when I first get a chance to lay eyes on those guys, what draws my attention is the intangibles, their ability to transfer from power to speed to power. And then when you see them get in positions to make play and they make the plays, those are important as well. And so to actually see them in the flesh and get a chance to work with them, now you get a feel for their personality, see how they're coachable, how they learn. And so so it's exciting as a coach to get fresh bodies in, because now you get a chance to get those guys to gel with the group, but also as a coach, you get a chance to learn how they learn and help them reach their goals. And so that's the challenge every day, every season.
Seems like Gentle was in the mix quite a bit up front, making plays. Just he didn't obviously play a lot last year. Just what you liked about where he's entered the season?
Yeah, from a skill set, we've seen that early when Gentle joined us last year. that he's a guy that can help us in all down and distance, all situation. But it was just a matter of learning the playbook, and so over time he's gained confidence. Last year you start seeing more of him towards the end of the season, and so just kind of spoon feeding him different parts of our defense, and he mastered it, and now he's getting more and more of our defense this season, and so feel good about him, excited about him, and so we're going to put him in a situation to have success because he can do it, he can make plays.
Seem to have found a knack for finding guys also that just fit in your scheme. Maybe their last stop they weren't quite as good a fit. Is that part of it when you're looking at it?
Yeah, that's a great question, and a great point you bring up. First off, is Coach B, is Pat Embleton. They do a tremendous job of evaluating talent, getting out there and seeing what's available for our team and what would be a good fit for us. And so, I'm just thankful and blessed to be able to coach these young men. So help them reach their potential, reach their goal. And so that's the biggest thing about us. So how they get here, everybody gets here got a different story. But when they get here, we can't wait to get our hands on them to help them reach their potential.